Oh, hello, my friends. It's me. It's Ken. We're doing the Piercing Ken thing at the ICFF show, and we're at the Greenmood booth, and we're going to talk to Alain about all of this stuff. He's one of the main designers of these products. Hi, Alain. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for
How are
coming
you?
over.
Nice. This is beautiful. So, what can you tell me about all of this?
Well, Greenmood from the start was like a company that's really green walls.
Okay.
And me as a designer, we tried to bring everything first off the wall. So doing green walls off the wall with products. And now the whole logic was to also use, the moss and the lichen. It grows next to the trees and the forest. It's picked up in the forest manually. And we thought, well, it's really interesting. We got the trees, and the tree is bark, and the bark is cork. So we said, let's now bring in cork, because it's also extremely natural and a lively material. So we're always trying to use good material, right? That makes sense for sustainability and all that.
So I see this is a plant, and this has been preserved.
Yeah, it has been naturally preserved, exactly. This is very unique. It's actually coming over from Africa. It's velvet leaves. The touch is amazing.
It feels amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels
Acoustically speaking, it's one of the best. So yeah.
Now you were saying that cork is very different. Now what's so special about this particular wall?
Cork is basically first they do the wine stoppers, right?
Yeah.
And with all the leftover, they turn that into smaller chips. And that you can mold, right? So you put it in a mold, you put a little bit of binder, it's 2 millimeter amount of binder, and then you heat it up, and you create these shapes. So you go from modules, right?
Yeah.
These modules, which you can, it's inspired, by brick walls. I live in Belgium, I come from Europe. Basically, we have a lot of brick walls for brickwork in the States, New York City. A lot of people have played with bricks, put at different angles, different colors. And we've tried to use that logic to create a module where there's always a missing element on each module. And it means that, brickwork, you can bring another color in. You can glue in a module the same color, different color, leave it open. So people, they have this extra layer. Designers have this extra layer to play with and define their own walls in a way.
Very nice, very nice.
It's also very good to absorb the sound. It also brings, this aspect of natural aspect in. It also brings kind of the auto in, right?
Now you said something special was about these. These are the...
This is also cork. But this is expanded cork. It's a totally different technique. It's kind of I would say, cork is picked up from the tree, right, in Portugal. And the pieces that weren't so nice, because it's like the smaller branches and stuff like that, they used to discard that, probably use it for something else, but it wasn't really a valuable product. So they tried to bring more value in, and so they what they do is that they put these in large metal containers, right? The smaller pieces. They heat it up extremely hot with water, and this then, like popcorn, it expands. But because it's constrained, all the chips, they push each other as they expand. And because it's so hot and there's water, it releases what is called the suberin. The suberin is it's pretty much like the juice of the tree, but for the bark of the tree. And that creates the natural binder. So there's no glue in there. There's nothing. This is fully natural, and because it's so porous, it's very open. So it's the best acoustically. It's the best.
It's actually very comfortable. Now, what are these?
This is naturally preserved moss and lichen. Basically, this is the stuff that grows next to the tree in Norway, basically. Picked up manually, then you preserve it, meaning you replace, to make it simple, let's say you replace the juice of the plant by another natural but different element, and then it feels like it's really soft and moist, but it feels alive, but it doesn't need anything.
Wow.
And then we used it in a frame, in a round frame in metallic. You can have different heights and people can play with that.
So what are some of the price points on some of this?
This is the worst question because I'm a designer.
Okay, you don't know. It's okay.
I don't even know the prices in the US.
Okay. Well, either way.
Sorry about that.
Well, no, it's okay. So how's the show been for you? We're on the second day.
I would say so far, really amazing. It's because there will be so many people around. I think a lot of people, they have questions. They want to understand because some of the materials with newer, as you said, the plants, it's not known. They want to understand how they can play with the cork. They want to understand the limit, how to use them in their projects.
So as the designer, I guess a good question is, how did you end up designing this kind of stuff?
Well,
The origin story.
yeah, the origin of the story, exactly. Well, first of all, design is my second life. So I studied political sciences. I worked for JP Morgan in a big, huge office, open space office. So some of the first ideas, especially when it comes to things that can be used either in a house or in an office, to create a livelier and more human environment, this also comes from what I've experienced as a person in those drier offices that were done at the time. Even though I must say JP Morgan was doing pretty nice offices as well. But yeah, it comes from this will, and it was Greenmood. To me, the beauty is that we can play. I mean, as a designer, as a product designer, you don't really usually play with plants. Plants is, plants is like flowers. It's something else, right? It's almost gardening, And then going from the plants to the cork, it was again playing something extremely natural. It's this idea that I'm hoping. I'm not saying everything is perfect, but I'm hoping that we're trying to bring everything somewhere else where it's a bit better. We're trying to improve stuff as much as we can.
Nice.
And we'll also be using recycled material a lot more. Yeah, that's where we want to go.
Nice. Alan, I'm going to let you get back to the show because there's a lot of people that need to talk to you about all of the awesome things that you have here. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate you. Okay, my friends, that's going to wrap up this video, and I'm going to put links to everything so you can find out how to get yourself some of this awesome Greenmood product. All right, you know the drill. Here's the drill. Click that link to subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell, and like or leave a comment on the video. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching from the ICFF. It's me, KP. Bye.